Well, one day when I was staying with my twin cousins, they'd gone down to the shops, and so I felt the sudden instinct to go and see the church. And I waited till the cleaner lady came out, and so then I went in. I thought there were ghosts behind the door, so I opened the door very cautiously and sprung in as quickly as I could. But I found that there weren't any ghosts there, and then I looked under all the chairs to see if anybody dropped any collection. But after I found they hadn't, I went up to the altar. I looked around, and I found the incense, and I took a big puff out of it, and pooh, and I went out of that church as fast as my legs could carry me.
I like going to church, but it's the sermons I don't particularly like. They go rambling on in such a boring way. But sermons like forgetfulness and remembrance, they seem to be the plainest of things.
Is there a heaven?
Yes, I think so. And I think it must be just the right climate with lots of tall trees, and I don't think it's the same colour. It'd be very nice there, and I don't think the people are solid. I think they're kind of transparent, and they live in lots of colourful houses with no servants, just to prove that they're self-dependent. I think that there's no such place as heaven or hell, because if there was, why don't we see souls, as they say, rising up to heaven or hell? Because if you're good, people say you go to heaven. If you're bad, you go to hell. But I don't think if you can.
Well, I agree with her, because if they say God is all around us, with all these satellites and rockets going up above in the air, they would have to go through him or something like that. So I don't really believe there is a heaven or a hell.
Did you never believe in heaven and hell?
Oh, when I was young, I used to believe that God used to float around on clouds, stand on clouds with all his angels playing little harps around him, but no, I don't believe in that stuff anymore.
I never believed in it.
Never ever?
No.
But what about all the parables?
Oh, I think they're just fiction stories that have grown popular.
Written in a special book, but some of them could be true, for all I know.
What about Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark and walking on the water, Jesus walking on the water?
I think that science still proves that wrong.
Which one?
Well, that's Adam and Eve, because it says that the world started, I think this is, that something broke off a planet or something, and it cooled, and there was an atmosphere formed around it, and dust formed on the outside of it, and then life began out of little tiny things.
And there was no Adam and Eve?
No, I just think that was a kind of fiction story that was made up.
When you hear people say there is no God, what do you feel about this?
Well, I feel sorry for them, and I feel sad, really, because they're being misled by somebody. And really, they don't know what they're doing. They're just being misled by somebody else who's guiding them away from God.
Why should someone do this?
Well, he doesn't believe in God himself. He wants to mislead them so that they can join his band and attack God against and make everybody not believe in him.
Do you know any Bible stories?
I know fishes better than I know all the others.
The fishes?
Yes.
What's that about?
When the little boy had some fishes and Jesus was there, and there was a lot of people who were hungry.
Yes.
And Jesus made it into a very lot.
How did you do this?
It was a miracle.
What is your favourite Bible story?
My favourite Bible story is Noah's Ark.
Can you tell me about it?
Yes. Yes.
What happened?
They built a big boat. Noah built a big boat with all the animals. And when all the animals got in, it started to pour with rain. And poured for 40 days and 40 nights.
Well, why did Noah build the ark in the first place?
Because he didn't want all the animals to get flooded away.
Well, how many animals did he put on?
Oh, I don't know. But I know he sent them in by twos.
By twos?
Yes. I don't know how many animals.
Why did he send the animals in by twos?
Because the plank was only big enough for two, and the doorway. And when it was going down, they bumped into a rock.
Yes.
And then he sent one of the birds out to see them.
And it came back with a leaf.
It didn't bring a leaf back.
No, the first bird did bring a leaf.
It didn't. It didn't.
Who's right?
It didn't. He sent three birds out.
No,
the first one didn't bring
two.
anything back. The first one didn't bring anything back. I know, I've had the story more times than you. I've had it about 20 times at Sunday school.
Do you know what God is like?
Yes, a bit. Well, he has a white cloak round him, and his shoes has two straps, and his toes are sticking out. It's got no front on it.
He's not like us, where he's a spirit, and he has a spear and two hands, and no face, and two legs.
He has no face. Why has he no face?
Because he's a spirit.
Well, he has creases in his face and a thing on his head like they were in Egypt, and he has a cloak like they wore in Egypt.
Do you two ever sing hymns?
Yes.
Who do you sing them to?
God.
Have you got a favourite one?
Yes.
What is it?
Robin in the Rain. That's a song. No. Gentle Jesus.